Hey everyone, if you love to watch history, hit that subscribe button and watch the video till the end because video is going to be very interesting. Your support keeps this channel going. Franklin D. Roosevelt, early life and education. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, FDR, was born on January 3, 1882, in Hyde Park, New York, into a wealthy and influential family. He was a distant cousin of former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt. Roosevelt attended Harvard University and later studied law at Columbia University, though he did not complete his degree. Political career and rise to power. Roosevelt entered politics as a Democrat and was elected to the New York State Senate in 1910. His political career gained momentum when President Woodrow Wilson appointed him Assistant Secretary of the Navy, 1-1-1-3-1920. In 1920, he ran as the Democratic vice presidential candidate, but his party lost the election. Battle with polio and political comeback. In 1921, Roosevelt was diagnosed with polio, which left him permanently paralyzed from the waist down. Despite this, he made a remarkable political comeback and was elected governor of New York, 1929-1932, where he gained a reputation for progressive policies. Presidency. 1933-1945, and the New Deal. Roosevelt was elected the 32nd President of the United States in 1932 during the Great Depression. His New Deal policies aimed to provide economic relief, recovery, and reform. Some of his major programs included Social Security Act, 1935, established a pension system for retirees, Civilian Conservation Corps, CCCC, created jobs in environmental projects, Works Progress Administration, WPA, employed millions in public works projects, World War II leadership after being re-elected 3 times, 1936, 1940, 1944. Roosevelt led the U.S. through World War II, 1939-1945. Following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, December 7, 1941, he declared war on Japan and later on Germany and Italy. He worked closely with Winston Churchill and Joseph Stalin, shaping the Allied war strategy. Death and legacy. Roosevelt died in office on April 12, 1945, shortly before the end of World War II. His leadership helped the U.S. recover from the Great Depression and secure victory in WA. His policies reshaped American government and society, making him one of the most influential presidents in U.S. history. How Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal saved America. The Great Depression of the 1930s was one of the darkest periods in American history. With unemployment soaring to 25%, banks failing, and widespread poverty, the country was on the brink of collapse. In response, President Franklin D. Roosevelt, FDR, introduced a series of programs and policies known as the New Deal, fundamentally transforming the U.S. economy and society. Through a combination of relief, recovery, and reform, the New Deal restored confidence, created jobs, and reshaped the role of government in economic affairs. This article explores how FDR's New Deal saved America by analyzing its key initiatives, impact, and legacy. The economic crisis of the Great Depression. Before examining how the New Deal saved America, it is essential to understand the severity of the crisis. The Great Depression was triggered by the 1929 stock market crash, which wiped out billions in wealth, led to massive bank failures, and drastically reduced consumer spending and business investments. Some key consequences included bank failures. Over 5,000 banks closed between 1929 and 1933. Unemployment crisis. Nearly 15 million Americans were out of work. Declining agricultural prices. Farmers faced low crop prices, leading to widespread foreclosures. Poverty and homelessness. Shanty towns, Hoovervilles, emerged as people lost their homes. Against this backdrop, FDR took office in March 1933. Offering hope with his promise of a New Deal for the American people. The first New Deal, 1934, emergency relief and banking reform. Upon assuming office, Roosevelt took swift action to stabilize the economy and provide immediate relief to suffering Americans. Banking and financial reforms. The financial system was in turmoil, with banks failing and people losing their savings. FDR addressed this through Emergency Banking Act 1933 declared a bank holiday to prevent more bank failures, allowed only financially stable banks to reopen. Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, 1933, insured bank deposits up to $2,500, now much higher, restoring public confidence in the banking system. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, 1934, to regulate the stock market and prevent fraud. Job creation programs. FDR believed in direct government intervention to create jobs and rebuild public infrastructure. Some of the most impactful programs included Civilian Conservation Corps, CCC, 1933, provided 3 million young men with jobs in environmental conservation. Public Works Administration, PWA, 1933, modernized the Tennessee Valley Authority, TVA, 1933, modernized the Tennessee River Valley, providing electricity and jobs to a poor rural region, helping farmers and rural America. Agricultural Adjustment Act, 1933, paid farmers to reduce crop production, stabilizing prices. Rural Electrification Act, 1935 to 1, 19.3, 61, 9.3 and 9.41, long-term structural reforms. After stabilizing the economy, FDR introduced long-term reforms aimed at preventing another economic disaster. Social Security Act, 1935. One of the most enduring legacies of the New Deal, this act introduced pensions for the elderly, unemployment insurance for workers who lost jobs, aid to families with dependent children, labor reforms protecting workers' rights. National Labor Relations Act, 1935, guaranteed workers' right to form unions and engage in collective bargaining. Fair Labor Standards Act, 1938, and maximum work hours. Federal Housing Administration, FHA, 1934, 25%, provided 8 million jobs in public works and the arts. The New Deal's impact, how it saved America, economic recovery and job creation. By 1937, unemployment had dropped from 25% to 14% due to government-funded job programs. The U.S. experienced modest economic growth, restoring faith in the system. Restoring public confidence programs like the FDIC and SEC restored trust in banks and investments, encouraging economic activity. Social Security provided security to retirees, reducing poverty among the elderly. Long-term government role in the economy. The New Deal redefined the federal government's role, showing that government intervention could stabilize capitalism. Many of its policies continue to shape America today. Criticisms and limitations of the New Deal. Despite its successes, the New Deal faced opposition from conservatives, argued it expanded government power too much. Supreme Court declared parts of the New Deal unconstitutional, leading FDR to attempt court packing. Limited civil rights impact. The New Deal did not significantly advance racial equality, as many programs discriminated against Black Americans. Conclusion. A lasting legacy. While the New Deal did not fully end the Great Depression, World War II's economic boom ultimately did, it saved America from total economic collapse. By stabilizing the financial system, creating jobs, and implementing social safety nets, FDR's policies laid the groundwork for modern American governance. The FDIC, SEC, Social Security, and labor protections remain vital pillars of the U.S. economy today. Franklin D. Roosevelt's leadership during the crisis demonstrated that bold government action could pull a nation back from the brink, setting a precedent for future crises like the 2008 financial crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic. The New Deal was not just a set of policies, it was a turning point in American history that reshaped the nation for generations to come.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Your support means a lot and helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching.